My name's Alex Foster and I am a Digital Skills Officer as part of the Digital on Tour project for the University of Chester. The purpose of today was a collaboration between the Castle Trust and our Archaeology Department to come down and do some scanning with a drone and a LiDAR sensor. The LiDAR sensor allows us to carry out a survey that's completely unobtrusive. It's all done from the air and it's all done using a series of lasers that fire down, and the reflection is measured back as it comes back to the sensor. So we can pinpoint really accurate information and results without breaking ground.
We're here as part of the LEP-funded cloud project, using the equipment, doing some work with the community, doing some work with schools as well. It's about trying to work with the university staff to enhance their digital skills within a subject area, say geography or biology, or in this case archaeology, and then work with the university students using that equipment, and then ideally that gets cascaded to an outreach type activity with a school. I've worked in IT for over 30 years. I still get really excited by digital. To see what we're doing with this equipment or how the funding's working with the university's project, to see engagement with the technology and not just seeing it as a consumer item that I can just buy from Argus and it works, see how it applies within a subject area, and hopefully it's igniting them. That's all I ask for, really.
I'm Davina Fairweather and I'm a trustee of the Preservation Trust, have been for the last 2 years. When I joined the trust, I felt very strongly that this was a community run and for the community castle. And not many people felt the same way. So the fact that we are now engaging with members of our community, and today has been wonderful to see the primary school children here living history, then for me that's what's so important about being here today, and it being the start of a longer term project that can go on and on and on with much better engagement with all types of people, especially those who might think actually heritage is not for me.
We've lived in the area all our married life. John's lived in the Oswestry area all his life, and Whittington Castle is only a couple of miles away from our village, and it's been part of our lives since our children were little.
It was a focal point of our lives, and once reaching retirement we thought, why not volunteer for someone? We thought about other charities around the place, but we chose Whittington Castle. It gladdens my heart to see these sort of activities and things like what you're doing today. Shows sign that it's going to improve, it's going to be better.
Hi, I'm Stuart Ainsworth. I'm a landscape archaeologist and I'm a visiting professor of landscape archaeology at the University of Chester. One of the things I've been able to do over the last couple of years, really since COVID emerged, was start a voluntary support group for archaeological communities effectively. It's a community archaeology support group called Shared Past, and with a couple of friends we've put together a package which we extend out to communities anywhere to learn about how to do community archaeology, offer advice, offer facility where we can. Sometimes it's just a Zoom call to help people get on the road. In other cases, it has a habit of developing into full-blown projects. And this is why we're at Whittington today, because one of these projects that emerged from an inquiry from one of the trustees here has led me to the point where we're now exploring a very, very large community archaeology project here at Whittington in Shropshire.
I'm a great believer that whatever we do has to be done in partnership. We cannot do these things on our own. We don't have the skills, we don't have the reach, we don't have the expertise, but by working together we become more powerful organisations, and when we can deliver much more than we could ever do on our own. And we want to be associated with an academic institution. The University of Chester is important for us, and that collaboration I think can only be beneficial.
Today we've worked in collaboration with the Castle Trust and some of the wider community. We've had the local primary school pop down this afternoon. They've got to see a demo drone flight that captured some actual data that we're going to use as part of the project, and then we tried some virtual reality and some augmented reality to experience some different things that we've previously been at and captured. The virtual reality was a capture of the dig that we do in Grosvenor Park every year between the council and the university, and the augmented reality was a 3D model of the amphitheatre in Chester.
This is about exploring places that people see every day. It's easy to be seduced by all this here. You've got a castle, everybody knows what a castle looks like. People come to a place like Whittington and they see the castle as a heritage, a focal point. But actually heritage is more than just castles and big palaces. It's about places that people have lived in. And people have lived in these places for thousands of years. And what we're trying to do with this project is engage people who live here now in the process about learning themselves how this place has evolved, what's made it the place it is. It's more than just a castle. This is a place where people live and come to. They can be tourists or they can be residents, they can be school children. There's heritage everywhere to be discovered, and what we're trying to build here is a project where I don't tell you what's here. I don't come along pontificating about medieval archaeology or whatever it is. We want to help people learn themselves. So what we're trying to do is structure a project which is effectively a training project for people who want to learn about the place, and we can give them the tools of the trade, as it were, how to look at evidence, how to look at maps, how to look at documents, to look at evidence around them. And with the benefit of the sort of technology we've got now, and fortunately the university has got all this wonderful new technology which we're seeing here today and trying here today, there are new tools we can explore how to collect that evidence and use it. Mobile phones, simple things, and take people through that journey of not just discovering about the past, but discovering the place they live in now, what's made it that place today. And I think that is one of the important aspects of this project. It's not about what we learn, it's that journey and progression and learning process that you go through.